Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's video, Wednesday, the 5th of June, 2024. This is your Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency update and a nice move. Finally, it's been a week or so of just sideways, boring price action. However, we had a decent pop up back up towards the very top of the range overnight. And yeah, looking pretty good right now for the overall market. My longs are very healthy. This being the long that had, of course, been taken down here at 57, since compounded at 61, since compounded again within this range, and still just riding these longs, being able to shave profits off on the highs and being able to compound into what is a really safe position, still sat here nicely at 62k. I really don't think that this position's in any kind of danger, even if we do start to roll back over at this stage. And yeah, just being able to ride those longs right now. So all looking very good on the chart, all looking all very happy with what we're seeing so far. So in terms of the technicals, we are getting a bit of a pullback this morning. We had a rise up this morning, and now we're seeing a bit of a pullback. So this has been a good opportunity to take some scalp shorts here. Essentially where we are at, so if we just go back onto the 4-hour here, we have this 4-hour OB. At the very top of the range that is in confluence with the monthly level. So this is the March open, so the April open. And also this daily level, which is untapped or has been untapped. So we have a daily level here at 71,432, give or take, depending on exchanges. And then, of course, we've got this, the only other untapped daily level that we have on the charts is all the way up here at 73,135. So quite a way up from where we are right now. So in terms of this being like local resistance, this is the as far as you can get before we start taking out these really like major highs and start looking at this as being a genuine breakout. So certainly an opportunity, certainly makes sense to be at least having some kind of hedge short position, scalp short positions open, to be looking for a bit of a pullback here, just in case this is one of those where, okay, we had this like triangle pattern, I'm not a fan, but essentially what we're looking at here is a range, and that range could continue as long as we remain in it, basically, right? So we are back at the top of the range. We've seen a situation like this before where we put in a range a little bit like we're seeing now, obviously a lot bigger in the past, but one where we had kind of like this double M formation where you have two peaks, the second of which takes out the middle peak, and then you get the reversal. And we've seen a very similar situation here with these two peaks, the second of which taking out this middle one but not taking out the high. Now, does that lead us to a bigger corrective move? We will just have to wait and see, but certainly here an area that you would be hedging against that long exposure, the long exposure that I do have, and I am in a hedge short position at the moment. It is small at this stage, but I would add to that if we do start to lose some key levels here. So overall, okay, that is the resistance. Okay, 4-hour order block. We had seen closes through this gap, which does lead to a higher probability that we're going to take out this high. However, having just explained what I did about this range, very much like if we do start to take these highs, then I think we're looking at a bigger breakout here up towards the 76k zone if this does get continuation. And as of yet, we're not really seeing that. We've seen a big rise up yesterday that was mainly spot led. And then since then, we've taken the highs on a couple of occasions that have been majority from perpetuals, long positions opening. So you would anticipate a bit of a cool off here. Now, if we're looking at support, okay, there could be support within the range. I am open to the idea, all right, I am open to this dropping down and taking the lows, and that wouldn't really change my overall bias. I would still be looking for a move higher after that, but we're playing a range here. We're playing this little local range. And there are some lows down here that do look very nice if price does want to come down and test that. We'd also have confluence with the anchored VWAP from this low that we put in back on the 1st of May, of course, if this was to happen. If we're looking at something internal, then there are key levels to be aware of. Okay, first of all, we've formed another big gap here between this 69 180 to 70, 69 to 70k basically is a bit of a gap on the chart. So if price does dip into that single prints there, then you could be looking for a long to grab that reaction and then be looking for new highs. If you do look on the 30-minute time frame, then within this 4-hour gap you can see just it's fairly balanced. Okay, we didn't actually create any like single prints as such on the way up, those being on the 30-minute time frame, because everything was fairly balanced within this move. The only ones that we did create were right up here at the top, and the price did come in and test those overnight here. So I am thinking that a pullback start to range a little bit more through today. If we can dip into this and it can bounce, then I would be looking at a move higher. If we do start to get caught down here, because this isn't particularly impulsive, right? This is fairly balanced here. If price does get caught within here, back below 70, I would look through to trade down and take out some lows. Then you're looking at weekly open. You've also, of course, got the range point of control down there. And that's when things start to be like, okay, those are the really key levels that you really cannot lose at this stage. Otherwise, it does bring into play these lower targets here. So yeah, decent support. You would like to, if this is to be bullish, you certainly don't want to see price gaining any acceptance below 70k at this stage. It was similar to what we had with this consolidation throughout yesterday morning, Monday, that consolidation. You didn't want to see acceptance back below that 69k. We didn't. We got another move up, and essentially what we're looking for is more of the same. Okay, you can see how this just flagged. If this can just flag again, maybe dip into this area, then we can get that continuation for another wave higher. And if you're counting kind of an Elliott wave type of thing, you could be looking at this as having another move up from here as well. So that's really Bitcoin. In terms of the order flow and everything else, we've got liquidations above mainly still, so still short positions that could be taken out. However, if we do dip down here, like I say, drop into those single prints, then come up and take those highs, then I think you'll get a lot more shorts to squeeze afterwards. But there's certainly still shorts opening that can be squeezed. However, I do think that pullback short term to cool off some of the late longs is more likely what we're going to see over the next few hours here. And this corresponds with what we're seeing on the CVD. So the first move up, the one that came up to take highs last night, very healthy spot buying. Okay, so it was spot led, perps had to play catch up. And since then, of course, we have made subsequent highs, which is okay. All right, it is making those new highs, but just losing a bit of that momentum. So you could see perps was a little bit too bullish up on these highs that were made here just very early this morning, Asia session, and then that has since cooled down, and you're just getting longs opening at the top of the range that I do think just need to be shaken out somewhat. Drop that open interest down slightly, start to get some short positions back into the market, and then maybe we can see another move towards the highs later on. So other than that, there's not really too much more to say with the order flow and everything that we have on Bitcoin as such here. We are seeing that slight cool off in open interest, which is okay. We are seeing that the CVD is moving down maybe a little bit quicker than what price is doing. So starting to get those short positions. It's a bit of a lag in the data here. It's logged me out. So we're losing some data here, but yeah, everything just going with kind of what we're seeing on the charts overall, expecting a small pullback, and then let's see if that can hold and continuation to properly break out of this range after that. Now, Ethereum is also looking interesting. Okay, so Ethereum, we had been expecting this to break down, and that is exactly what it is doing, right? So with ETH, it was around here when ETH was at about like 0.055 ETH BTC pair. We were looking at this to break down. Ideally, I'd love to see it come down to this 0.052 to 0.05 area. That's where I'd really get very, very interested in Ethereum again. But whilst we are here, again, looking at this as a bit of a range, we could start to see that outperformance from Ethereum if Bitcoin does cool down for a little bit. Then Ethereum still holding important support, could get another rise up today or tomorrow. As this bounces, maybe to come back up towards these highs, and then eventually we might see that drop. So similar to what we've have drawn here, but maybe just adjust this to fit, because that being the general idea, we could be looking at something more along these lines playing out over the next day or so. Now that would give us some nice levels to play with. Okay, so you can see on a couple of occasions since Bitcoin's move up, Ethereum didn't follow. It's just stuck within this sideways reaccumulation, in my opinion. Okay, I do think this resolves higher. I do think Bitcoin chart resolves higher. But it's been testing this weekly open and this range point of control a few times here. So we had that downtrend, that corrective move down all the way back down to the low of the range, broke out of that sideways reaccumulation, and then you would be expecting this to start to curve back up. However, opportunities to enter around about that 3,780, 3,800 area as where we are right now. If we do start to dip into support here, this is my really key support around 3,750. That's your monthly open. And you really just want to see price continue to hold here before getting that move up. So Ethereum providing opportunities, is just lagging behind a little bit, but I do think if Bitcoin ranges and doesn't start dumping, if it just starts to form this tight little range here, then we can see Ethereum just outperform, even if it's just short term, coming up towards these highs over the next day or so. Altcoins are also looking very, very good. So I mentioned on my stream, and I've been mentioning for quite a while recently, I think Bitcoin ecosystem altcoins are ones that you really want to be playing at the moment. So for the first time, we're having a Bitcoin market cycle, essentially, where Bitcoin isn't necessarily going to drain all the alts, because there are altcoins within the Bitcoin ecosystem now. We haven't had this before, so that's the likes of ordinals, runes, BRC20 tokens, which could all run alongside Bitcoin, similar to what we've seen with Ethereum in the past, similar to what we've seen with Solana this year. So Solana pumps, everything else within the ecosystem pumps. We could see something similar with Bitcoin. So there's a few trades that I am looking at. The first of all being Stacks, of course. So Stacks looking really, really healthy, having broken out of this little downtrend consolidation here. And I am very bullish on Stacks. Unfortunately, I did want to get an entry for a leveraged position around about $2. I haven't managed to get that, but I do have a spot bag of Stacks around about the same value. And yeah, happy to ride this up. I think there's a decent 100% move here. You can be long from $2, you can be aiming for $4 quite easily, and realistically we're looking at these lows that were put in at the beginning of the month as an invalidation here. So a very, very low risk trade with potential 10, maybe even more, depending on where your average entry is, return on this, and then price discovery beyond that, in my opinion. Some other trades that I am in, I'll cover a couple of the shorts. So I'm still short on Pepe. Basically, this being a similar structure to what we'd seen previously. Okay, price making what looks like a decent top at the negative 618 after retracing into the 618. So a measured move higher, looking at this to retrace back into support. I'm in a short position there. Alt layer still in a long position from back in May, and this is just chilling, looking pretty good at this stage. ENA is another one. I don't have a chart on there. Jupiter. All right, this was one that we mentioned on the stream yesterday. So I had taken a short on Jupe, but actually yesterday, as we were on the stream, we were looking at this exactly where it was and being like, actually, no, this looks really, really, really good to be going higher, despite the fact that I think Solana ecosystem may have topped locally. I think there are certain altcoins, Dupe being one of them, that does look very nice at the moment. Now, you don't know if you'll get the full extent of this move, but this looking really good. Again, this is one that I shared on the stream. And of course, if anyone wants these setups first, anytime I do take a trade, I do post it into the Discord so that everyone is aware of it. So every time that there is a trade taken, any time that there is a take profit, a stop loss being hit, all of those kind of things, people within the crew are immediately alerted. That goes not only for myself, but also for the other coaches who are here, who are doing their constant analysis. And not only are we trading the crypto, not only are we trading crypto, but we're also trading the legacy markets as well. Cake doing regular live streams that have been, I believe, well, very consistently profitable lately. So you can check out his content on that as well. And yeah, there's tons and tons of good stuff going on here. Someone's turned the godfather of candlesticks, Homer, what's his name? I can't remember. Turned him into Gary Gensler. Very nice, very nice. Thanks for that in the chat. But anyway, back to the charts. If you are interested in signing up to the crew, by the way, link is in the description below. Then yeah, come and join us and trade like this and make money. Yeah. A couple of other trades. Not sorry for the not fans out there. Well, not sorry for the not fans out there. Sorry, not sorry, but I am short on not. This was one that was again taken yesterday. Long on Audi. Here's another trade, again, alerted within the crew. So a trade that we took back here on May the 7th. All right, so we did take this trade here. Spent a bit of time underwater, but you just got to be patient. The market right now has rewarded patience and is continuing to reward patience. So that has been playing out really nicely. We got a couple of take profit levels. We came back to entry, another opportunity to get into this trade where you could then have just moved to stop up. Okay, so a second opportunity to get in. Add more risk onto the trade, knowing that this low is now really, really important that it holds, and then looking for higher prices. Rune, that's not one I want to cover. SNX, again, taken yesterday on the stream. As you know, this was during the trading room yesterday, so we had our London trading room. So this trade was opened yesterday, and it's just getting started there. Okay, just getting started. You want to take profit here around this point of control, but just getting started on that one. Stark, there's another one that we've taken, again, alerted within the crew. So anyone who's in the crew will have known about this trade and will be profitable right now. We're going back onto some other ones here. So yeah, everything looking really, really nice. Lots of profit and money being made. So yeah, on that note, I am going to just about wrap it up right there. Bitcoin's still just chilling here, isn't it? Still just pulling back slightly. But that's cool. That's cool. That's good. This is what you want to see. This is all very healthy so far. So like I say, hold 70k, all is well. Lose that, starts to look a little bit sketchy. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.